It's so wonderful to be here with you and to move together. I invite you to take an inhale with me and then exhale and let it go. And let's begin moving. So after a few moves, we're going to do some rib breathing. If you're very familiar where your rib breath is, right at the middle of your rib cage, then you can just focus on that area, in particular the back and the sides, as well as the front, but mostly the back and the sides, because those are the areas where we tend to hold tension and not breathe as much. But you can also use a strap as a feedback tool or anything that has a little bit of a resistance. So I'm going to start out by tying this strap. It's really right below your chest or your breast muscles. And if you're tying something, tie it pretty snug so that it gives you good feedback and so it stays pretty put. Of course, it'll loosen up a little bit on the exhales, and then extend your legs straight. And from there, with your ankles flexed, toes up in the air, take your arms out by your sides, and let's just start by moving our arms up and down by our sides. And you'll notice we come to this one a lot. We start with this one a lot. Throughout the day, I encourage you to do more movement. And if you can't think of anything to do, this is always one to go to, because getting our arms moving out of that chronic being in front of us position with whatever we're doing, driving, looking at our phones, on the computer, eating, most of modern culture, lifestyle habits, we have our arms in front of us. So just by moving your arms out by your sides and in any different ways is a wonderful place to start. Feel your upper back spread wide, feel your chest get wide, tune into your breath. So we haven't done this in a while, but if there's a purpose that you'd like to set for your practice, not just your movement practice, but your practice in life, what purpose do you want to set? What do you want to be more aware of as you move through this next week? What do you want to focus on? What's a seed that you can plant for your well-being? And just remind yourself now, no pressure, just observing and feeling what you need to take better care of yourself. It could be something physical, it could be something mental, it could be something emotional, it could be something spiritual. Let's do a few more like this. Nice and easy, no forcing. Let the palms of your hands be wide, your fingers nice and long. If you tend to lock out your elbows, put a little soft bend in your elbows. Okay, we're going to add some different moves. So we're going to spread our toes at one point so your ankles are flexed. With your arms by your sides, palms facing away from you, you're just going to lift your arms a little bit out to your sides. Gently spread all your fingers, gently spread all your toes, or as wide as they'll go, and then take a rib breath here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Relax your fingers and toes. Lift your arms a little higher. So we're working on a little more endurance here. If this feels like too much, give your arms a rest. Spread your fingers out gently, spread your toes out gently. Take a breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Relax your fingers and toes. Take your arms a little bit higher and wide. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Relax your fingers and toes. Lift your arms one height higher. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And then relax your arms down. Bend your knees, walk your feet nice and wide, but only walk them so wide that instead of your toes turning out to the side, you can still spin your ankles so your toes point straight ahead and the outer edges of your feet are straight. With your inner thighs opening here, you're going to rotate back, so you're going towards your tailbone and then trying to bring your top 2 pelvic bones forward over your bottom pubic bone. So just going back and forth here, inner thighs open. As you move your pelvis, try to make sure that you're actually moving from your pelvic bones and you're not pushing your spine forward and back. So the ribs stay relaxed down as you move your pelvis forward and back. Breathing here. And we are going to do some different moves where we hold our arms in different positions for a little while, working on a little bit of endurance. I know based on my own experience that when I first started holding my arms out longer, they got tired quickly. The best thing is not to strain and not to push through it. You don't want to create stress when you're trying to heal your body. So the best thing to do is to relax your arms, put them down, bring them back up when you're ready. And then over time, you'll notice you'll be able to hold them up a little bit longer and a little bit longer without feeling like you have to force, without feeling like, oh my gosh, my arms are so tired. So listen to your body and let it adapt slowly. All right, let's do a couple more rotations here. All right, rotate your pelvis upright. Take your arms low by your sides, palms rotate away from you. They're not just hanging, there's a little bit of muscle work as you're holding them out. And then let your thighs roll in towards each other and roll gently to the outer edges of your feet. To the inner edge, go nice and slow. So especially if you're someone that can kind of flop your hips around, for you, it's extra important that you go slow. Some people have so much tension in a way that it's challenging for them to open their thighs and close them, so it's not going to be super fast. But if you can flop, in some ways, for some people's body, that's actually showing that you also carry tension, just in a different way. So either way, you want to go nice and slow and try not to let your legs fall. Breathing. All right, from there, next time you open your thighs wide, walk your feet back into hip distance apart. Take your arms a little higher, still a little lower than your shoulders, palms are up. If you want to work on a little something extra, you can rotate and try to turn your thumbs behind you. Let's extend your right leg, bend the knee right under the knee, right over the ankle, extend the left leg, flexing your ankle, and bend. Right leg, and bend, left leg, and bend, right leg, and bend, left leg, and bend. Also notice, are your feet walking closer than hip distance apart? Try to keep them at least hip distance apart. Right leg, and bend, left leg, and bend. Okay, from here, give your arms a break for just a moment. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Now, if your knee pops in, try to open it back up. If crossing the ankle under the knee is not happening, you can use any sort of prop, a block, anything that stands up on its side, and you can put your foot up there and still take the same shape, so you're getting the same stretch, but you're just adapting your muscles slower over time. All right, from here, arms up a little bit higher. And from this number 4 stretch, which is often what it's called because it looks kind of like a number 4, you're going to rotate your pelvis back and forward, just like we did earlier. Rotate back and forward. Rotate back and forward. Rotate back and forward. And then from there, uncross your ankle. Now here's an interesting thing to do, is can you cross your other ankle over your knee without using your hands? And so if that was not possible, if you had to reach down and use your hand to cross your ankle over your knee, that in some ways is showing you that you don't actually have the range of motion to be working with your ankle all the way over at your knee, even though you can get it here. So practice sometimes here, but if that's the case, if there's no way you were going to get your ankle over your knee without lifting your leg up with your own hands, then you want to practice here, I'd say at least half the time. You need to practice at different heights, and the more you practice at different heights, over time, you'll get more range of motion in the muscle that allows you to get it up on your knee without using your hands. So eventually your pelvis will probably tuck back. And from here, rotate your pelvis back and upright, and rotate back and up, rotate back a little, and up, and rotate back a little, and up. And then from there, release your arms, release your leg, and let's spin around into a lunge. So spin around to one side, slide your leg back behind you so your knee falls right under your hip. If it's comfortable, tuck your toes under behind you. And then from there, we'll lift our arms into the air, and now they're the highest they've been, so not quite a wide V, right overhead, slightly in front of our shoulders. And how about our back foot? You've got to steady your hips on your chair, so you might have to scoot over a little. Top of the foot down, tuck the toes under. And if you need to, just hold your outside arm up and hold onto the chair with your inside arm, and then you can do the opposite when we switch sides. Top of the foot down, tuck the toes and the ball of the foot under. Top of the foot down, tuck it under and push gently back through the heel. Top of the foot down, tuck the toes under, and then from there, let's spin around. You can always give your arms a break, or you can keep them in the air the whole time. Slide the knee back so it's right under the hip. Kind of scoot yourself so you feel pretty stable on the chair. You can always bring your inside hand down, and then we'll go to top of the foot, tuck the toes under. Top of the foot, tuck the toes under. Top of the foot, tuck the toes under. Top of the foot, tuck the toes under, and then from there, spin back around to the front of the chair and release your hands down. Okay, from here, let's go back over to the right side, or whichever side you started on. And from this lunge, knee under the hip, you're going to lean forward and extend your back leg any amount, as much as you can. Of course, this is going to depend a little bit on how long your legs are and how high your chair is, but just do the best you can. And with your leg extended, you can either stay centered or gently roll from the big toe to the pinky toe side of your foot. So your thigh bone is just moving a little bit side to side, breathing. It's a very small motion. And then bring your torso up as your knee bends, bring that leg forward. And the transitioning of leaning forward is keeping your lower back from over compressing. So I'll do it in my body, but if you extend your leg all the way back and your spine is up all right, it's gonna put a lot more pressure on your lower back. That's why we're leaning forward a little, to get more extension through the leg. And then from here, either just reach long through that leg or a little rotation of your thigh bone, from big toe to pinky toe side of the foot. And again, if you have the ability to kind of do those floppy movements, be aware of that. And for you especially, go slower. Breathing. All right, bring your foot back to center. Torso comes up as knee bends. Slide the leg forward, spin back around to the front of the chair. And then from here, with the outer edges of our feet straight, ankles hip distance apart, take your arms out to your side and we'll do dynamic side bends. Right arm goes up and over, pelvis upright, ribs relax down so your breastbone is vertical. Left arm goes up and over. And right arm up and over. Left arm up and over. Right arm up and over. Left arm up and over. Another great one to do often, side bends. Right arm up and over. And left arm up and over. Now this time as your right arm goes up and over, hold, and very subtly, without your ribs moving forward and back, move your arm forward a little, back a little, forward and back. Forward and back, forward and back, and then switch. Left arm goes up and over. Now as you start to move your arm, especially when your ribs are down, you'll start to feel over time more movement in the side and the back of your ribs, which is good because we want to open that area up so it's easier to breathe into. Arm forward a little and back without pushing the ribs forward. Forward a little and back. Forward a little and back, forward a little and back, and then pull yourself up. Okay, now scoot your left hip to the center of the chair, and we're gonna do the same thing, but now you're gonna extend your right leg long out to the side. You can either put the sole of your right foot down or you can land on the inner edge of your foot. Each one gives a different stretch to your thighs, so play and see which one you want to work with today. And then stable in the legs, we'll take the right arm up and over, and then the left arm up and over, and right arm up and over, breathing, and the left arm. Feel the length. Right arm, creating space, which means creating circulation, and left arm. And now we'll do the right arm and we'll stay. And same thing with that arm, a little movement forward and back. Taking your time. Your right leg is extended nice and long. And the next time it's about center, pull yourself up, slide your right leg in, scoot over so your right hip is in the center of the chair. Extend your left leg straight out to your side on the sole of the foot or on the inner edge. And then we'll start with the left arm. Left arm up and over, and right arm. And left arm, and right arm. Take your time. Feel the muscles all down the side of the body. And left arm, and right arm, and left arm, and we'll hold here, and then you'll move your arm forward and back a little, tuning into your breath. All right, and then pull yourself up. Slide that leg in, bring it back ahead, and then let's sit in a wide V-sit with the outer edges of the feet straight, inner thighs open. Open your arms, palms up. We're going to work with just the right arm moving. The left arm stays. Right arm reaches across, low chest level, open to the side. Notice if the arm always wants to go up. Try to drop it down a little. Right arm across and open. Right arm across and open. Right arm across, hold. Now reach with your left hand, hold on above your elbow on your upper arm. Pull that arm out a little like you're reaching it further across, and then use your left hand like an elevator, and the arm goes up and back down nice and slowly. Arm goes up and back down and up and down and up and down. And then next time your arm goes down, really let it drop down. Drop your chin down to your chest. Relax the back of your neck. Tune into your breath. And then slide your head back. Lift your arm up higher. And then again, drop your chin down to your chest. Keep holding that arm up, pulling gently out on the arm bone. And bring your head back nice and slowly. Bring your arm down. Reach your arms out to the side. Inner thighs open. Hands a little lower than your shoulders. Left arm reaches across and open. Doesn't matter how far it goes at first. Let it be gentle. Reach across and open. Two more like that. Reach across and open. And reach across, and now hold on with your right hand to your upper arm above your elbow. Pull out a little, you're tracting your shoulder, and then your right hand becomes like an elevator, and it goes up and down, nice and slowly. Inner thighs open, up and down, and up and down, and up and down. And then let the arm rest low. Drop your chin down to your chest. Feel the front of the throat lift up a little bit. Keep gently pulling out on the left arm. Bring your head up nice and slowly. Lift the arm a little bit higher and then drop the chin down. Drop the forehead down. Keep gently pulling out on that left arm. Breathing. Relax your lower belly. Then lift your head out and open your arms up, sitting up nice and tall in the pelvis. Walk your feet back to hip distance apart, sitting up tall. Turn your belly to the right. Come back to center, and we're going to continue to go to the right. Turn the belly button to the right and unwind. Feel the waist turn. Turn to the right and unwind. Turn to the right, hold. Your hands can come down. One hand can even reach back and hold onto the chair. Keep the turn in your torso and extend your left leg and bend your knee. Extend the left leg, keep turning the belly, bend the left knee. Extend and bend. Extend, hold. Left leg straight, right knee bent, turning to the right. Reach both arms into the air and keep twisting from the waist. Breathing. Flex your left ankle. And unwind. Open your arms out. Bend your left knee. Pelvis upright, ribs relax down, just twisting to the left. Twist the belly to the left and unwind. Belly to the left and unwind. Belly to the left and unwind, and belly to the left and unwind. Belly to the left, hold. Let your hands come down. You can even reach around with your hands, holding onto your leg, holding onto the chair to turn your waist a little bit more, no force. And then you're extending your right leg and bend. Extend, heel down, toes up, and bend. Extend and bend. Extend, hold, right leg long. Lift both arms into the air and keep twisting from the belly button to the left. Breathing. If your head tends to drop forward, slide your ears back over your shoulders. And unwind and release your hands down and bend your knee, and then walk your feet wide again. Drop your chin down to the center of your throat, and this time slowly roll your head side to side. Soften the face, relax the jaw. Keep breathing. Go nice and slow. We're going to add on to this in a little while. So just an inch to one side, an inch to the other side. All right, bring your head back to center, slide your ears back over your shoulders, and then from here, walk your feet into hip distance apart. Tuck the top of the right foot under, trying to get where your toes are or where your shoelaces would be. Bring your left foot ankle right underneath your knee, and then from here, reach your right hand forward. Pull down on all four of your fingers. Spread your thumb out to the side, and now focus on your left foot as you lift your heel up, slowly lower down. Lift up, try to press equally through the ball of the foot, lower down. Lift up and lower down, lift up and lower down. All right, release the fingers, bring that foot forward, tuck your left toes behind you, underneath top of the foot. Reach your left hand forward, pull down on all four fingers, try to make sure you're getting the pinky finger too. Gently spread the thumb out to the side. Wrist stays in line with the shoulder so it's not veering in. And then from here, focus on lifting your right ankle, but pressing down equally through the ball of the foot. And lift and lower, pulling down on the fingers. And lift and lower. Lift and lower, lift and lower, and then bring that hand back, bring that knee forward, elbow pits, palms forward, and we'll swing the arms back one at a time. Just a little arm swing here. Really try to focus on pulling back and relaxing forward. So you're not lifting your arm in front of you, you're just pulling back and relaxing forward to the best of your ability. And now if you have space, if your chair doesn't get in the way, can you do your arm swings with your arms really close to the sides of your body? So they're brushing your body every time they pull back and go forward. Relax your hands and keep the arms close to the body as you swing back, pull back through the upper arm, pull back through the shoulder. Just getting a little bit more range of motion in the chest and in the upper back And then let your arms hang, pelvis upright, ribs relax down, elbow pits forward. You're going to tuck your chin in to your throat. And that you're going to do this really slowly. You're trying to keep everything stable. Your arms stable, your pelvis stable, your ribs stable. And slowly, with your chin tucked, roll over to your right shoulder. Bring your head up. It's like you're going straight across your top head. You're not leaning back too much. And then keeping your chin tucked, roll down and around. And these are really slow. Do that one more time in this direction. You want to go super slow. And everything else on your body stays really steady. Next time your chin gets down to the center of your chest, keep the chin tucked in and go really slow. And if you're about finishing one circle, start on the next one. Super slow. And then next time your chin comes to the center of your chest, slide your ears back. And from here, ankles under your knees. Try to use less momentum. Try to use less hands. Lean forward as soon as your hips come off the chair. Push them back to use the back of the legs to come up the rest of the way. And then from there, come around to the back of your chair. And you don't necessarily need that strap tight around your rib cage anymore, so you can take it off unless you like that feedback and you like to practice rib breathing as you move through class. It's not such a bad idea. All right, from the back of the chair, walk back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. Outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push your hips back so that they're behind your ankles. If you feel like your spine is rounding here, put your hands higher, so either the higher the back of a chair or a fireplace mantle or a kitchen counter. Breathing here, relax the front of your thighs. Take one more full breath here. And then walk up, and whatever you're going to use for a calf stretch, grab that. Put it can be a rolled up towel, a thin block. This is a half dome. Put the ball of one foot up, your heel down, outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. You might just stay there. Over time, you might lean into that front leg and step your outside foot forward a little bit. You want to see over time, you never want to stop doing your stretch back here. So you want to go here and here and here. But over time, you are seeing when can you step your foot forward without feeling like you're losing your balance or your muscles tense up or you really lean forward. So that length that you get in front of the block, which might take a while, sometimes it takes a while just to get your feet to be even, is telling you a lot about your walking pattern and what muscles you're using and what muscles you're not using. So over time, you do want enough length in your calf muscles so that you can really keep your heel all the way down as you step the other foot forward. But how about today, you just work in a range of motion that's comfortable for you, push down through the leg that's doing the calf stretch, and move your foot back a little and forward a little in a comfortable range of motion where you don't feel like you're losing balance. Move the foot back a little and forward a little, and back and forward and back and forward. And then let's switch sides. So slide the dome or the block or the rolled up towel over. Put the ball of the foot up, the heel down, outer edges of feet straight, and the range of motion might be different on one side than the other. So first just find a place that feels comfortable and will stay for a few breaths in the stretch. Check if your pelvis and your thigh bones are pushing forward. Back your hips up so it's one line from your ankle to the center of your knee to the center of your hip. Relax your lower belly. And then you're pushing down into the leg that's doing the calf stretch, and you're going to step the foot forward a little and back a little. And I can feel that my calf muscle is tighter on this side, so my range of motion of stepping is a little bit smaller, because if I try to go too far forward, I'm going to lose some of my balance and start to lean forward. So find the range of motion, even if it's from back to just up a little bit. Find a range of motion that works for you. Keeping the standing leg straight, or they're both standing leg, but the calf stretch leg straight. All right, and then step off of there, move that to the side with the outer edges of your feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through your outer right hip, hug it in if it tends to pop out, and tuck the top of the foot behind you. You can always stick a towel under there as well, so your foot muscles can relax. If it feels really tense and your foot cramps a lot, do it a lot more sitting down. I've done it so much standing that sometimes it feels like a better stretch sitting down because it's getting into the muscles differently. Check, does your ankle tend to roll out to the side like mine is right now? If it doesn't hurt, bring your ankle straight up and down so you're more on the center of your foot. You'll feel more of that big toe side of the foot here. And then check in with your standing balancing leg. Does the hip tend to go out? Bring it in. Does the thigh tend to travel forward? Back it up so the weight's over your heel. And let's switch legs. Outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through the left hip. If it tends to pop out, hug it in. The right foot comes up. Tuck the top of the foot. Notice if the ankle tends to go out to one side. And breathing here. Check in with the standing leg. Is the hip popping out? Does the weight travel forward? Can you back your thigh bone up so the weight's in the heels? One way you can check is you should be able to easily lift your left toes without feeling like you're rocking back. Breathing here. Can you relax your feet muscles a little bit more? Pushing down through the outside of the hips. All right, and then bring that foot back. All right, standing at the back of your chair, feet straight, ankles hip distance, interlace right pinky finger on the bottom, press away. Spread your thumbs away from each other, slowly go up without lifting your ribs. So ribs stay relaxed down. As the arms go up, keep backing your thigh bones up, weight in the heels, and then keeping pressing through your fingers, side bend over to the right. Come up, side bend over to the left, and then come up, bring your hands down in front of you, keep your hips steady, just turn your upper body to the right, bring your hands back to center, just your upper body to the left without your pelvis turning, back to center, interlace your hands behind your back, right pinky finger on the back, and then from there, you can either keep your hands resting on your back, let's do that at first, rotate your pelvis into a half forward fold. So you're not going very far. You're thinking more of moving your thigh bones back than dropping your spine down. And then press up, weight in the heels. Let's do that again. Back your hips up. And then from here, if it's comfortable, lift your hands off your back, hug your elbows in a little bit, and then keep your hands lifted as you slowly come up, keeping your weight back in your heels. Let's switch the crossing of our fingers. Left pinky finger on the back, rest your hands, rotate your pelvis, push your hips back, and then keep the weight in the heels as you slowly come up. Rotate your pelvis, push your hips back. Maybe the hands lift off the back, maybe the elbows hug in without thrusting the ribs, ribs stay in. And then maybe keep the hands lifted as you come up to stand, backing your weight up, dropping the ribs down, sliding the head back. And then bring your hands in front of you, interlace left pinky finger on the bottom, press away low. Hands now turn inside out. And then arms go up without lifting the rib cage, side bend over to the left. And side bend over to the right. And then come back through center, hands down, low chest. Turn the belly to the left without turning the hips. This would be turning the hips. Hips stay square to face forward. Turn the waist to the right, breathing. And then unwind, reach your arms forward, sit back into a chair pose. Try not to let your knees go past your ankles, slide the hips back. Notice if your inner thighs tend to cave in, it's hard for me to show you that from this angle, but try to pull your inner thighs open if they cave in towards each other. How about sitting a little lower and seeing what happens? Do the knees slide forward? Do the thighs cave in? Does the spine really want to drop down? Take another breath or two here. Breathing. And then hands to the chair. Step your right leg back into a lunge. You're high on the ball of your back foot, front knee right over your ankle, and how about a tiny rotation of your back leg? It's not a lot, because if you move the thigh bone a lot, your hips are going to start going side to side. So it's just a rotation, and you just roll from the big toe to the pinky toe side of your foot or your shoe. And then bring your foot back to center, push into your front heel, push off the ball of your back foot to step up. Sit back into that chair pose, hold. Hips back, drop in a little lower. Inner thighs, watch if they cave in. And then over time, you see, can I go a little lower and then still find my alignment cues? Breathing here, relax your lower belly. Using the entire sole of your feet. Feel the back body. And then bring your hands to the chair. Step your left leg way back into a lunge, ankles hip distance apart, and a little rotation of the thigh bone. It's very small. It's okay to move small. It's a good thing to move small sometimes. It gets into the muscles in a different way. And if you feel like your foot is slipping, then you just readjust and rotate a little bit side to side. Never forcing anything. And then from there, push into the heel of the front foot, center the ball of your back foot as you step up. Feet hip distance apart, push your hips back a little. It's okay if your elbows bend, just let them hang down instead of popping out, and shift your hips from right to left. So from the front view, when you're holding onto your chair, every time you're just moving your hips a little side to side. And you can work with going as far to one side as you can and then as far to the other side. But again, if you're the type of body that can just kind of flip your hips around, for today, try to go slower, a little bit more control as you go side to side. Now step your feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Back your hips up. Shift your hips side to side here. Bring your hips back to center. Step your feet a little wider. Back your hips up. Another thing you want to be aware of, even if your hips move very easily, is sometimes do go to that end range of motion. But go with control. So you're not flopping your hips all the way to one side. You're taking your time as you go all the way to one side and as you go all the way to the other side. And now walk your feet wider. They're starting to get into like a warrior two type width stance. Push your hips back and shift your hips side to side here without bending your knees. And again today, go as far as you can without force to one side and the other side. Relax the lower belly, back the weight up into the heels. Go to one side and then the other side. And then come back to center, come all the way up to stand. Turn your toes a little bit out to the sides. Bring your hands behind your head. You're going to interlace one pinky finger on the bottom and then switch, or you're going to put the back of one hand on top, and when we switch, put the other hand. So whatever's most comfortable for you. From here, think curl your ribs down like you're doing a standing crunchie. And then without lifting your ribs up, slide your head straight back. Now your ribs might lift up a little, but they're not going all the way up. You're keeping them mostly down as you slide your head back. So again, curl down, slide your head back, switch the crossing of your fingers or which finger's on top. Curl down, slide your head back, curl down, slide your head back. Good. And then reach your arms high right up, and with your feet turned out to the side, sit into a squat, toes turned out. Try not to let the knees go past the ankles and press to come up. Bring your hands a little lower. Sit, knees turned out to the side, squatting, inner thighs open, and press up. Hands a little lower. Squat down, press equally through the soles of the feet. And press up. Last one, hands a little lower. Squat down and press up. Now turn your toes back to point forward, edge of the feet straight. Interlace one pinky finger on the top, hands behind the head. Think of ribs relaxed down as you slide your head back into your hands. This is a great tool for ramping your ears back over your shoulders. Bend over to the right. Come up nice and slowly, bend over to the left. Come up nice and slowly, extend your arms wide. Switch, put your opposite pinky finger on the top, slide your head back into your hands, ribs relax down, bend over to the left, and come up slowly, bend over to the right, and come up slowly. Extend your arms long, hold. Your toes are turned in, turn your palms to face each other. Sit back into a wide squat. Now your feet are turned straight instead of out to the side. Press up. Take your arms a little bit lower. Sit back, inner thighs open. And press up. Take your arms a little bit lower. Sit back, maybe the hips drop a little lower with control. Press up, arms a little lower, sit back, and press up. Now bring your hands back behind your head, one finger on top, elbows open, ribs relax down, sit back into that squat, hold, twist your belly to the right, twist your belly to the left, come back to center, extend your arms, switch the crossing of your fingers, ears slide back, ribs relax down, hips push back, turn your belly to the left, turn your belly to the right, come back to center, extend your arms wide, push into your feet as your arms come down. Your feet stays wide, your chair is still in front of you, and then push your hips back here. It's okay if your elbows are bent, just remember, watch how they always want to pop out, drop them down, and now you're going to reach your right arm underneath your left arm with palm face up. And then you're going to slide it back and reach it on top. Take your time. Reach underneath. Reach on top. Reach underneath. Reach on top. Reach underneath. Reach on top. Bring that hand back. Hips push back. Belly relaxes so tailbone can go up. Palm face up, reach underneath, opposite side, reach on top, reach underneath, and reach on top, reach underneath, and reach on top, reach underneath, and reach on top. Bring that hand back, push your hips back, take your arm, reach underneath, switching sides, hold. Breathing. Hips push back. Reach on top. Hold. Breathing. Switch arms. Reach underneath. Hold. Hips back. Belly relaxes. Ribs up if you feel any tension in your lower back. Or of course, if your spine is rounding, then relax the belly more. Reach on top. Hold. Breathing. Bring that hand back, weight back in the heels, push through the back legs to come up, walk your feet in, stand sideways at your chair, feet straight, ankles hip distance. You're about an arm distance away. It's perfectly okay if your chair is higher. I actually prefer a little bit higher back of a chair. And now you're going to side bend with your outside arm towards your chair, and you're going to let your hips go out and bring your hips in. When your hips go out, it actually pulls less in some ways on your waist, even though it might feel like a bigger stretch around that area. When your hips come in and they're right stacked and you're bending over, it gets more into your waist area. Hips go out. Hips come right over ankles. Hips go out. Hips right over ankles. Now you're leaning over, reach your top arm into the air, go slow, curl it under the bottom arm, and open it back up. Take your time. That's how you avoid pulling something so that it becomes uncomfortable. Curl under and open up. Curl under and open up. Curl under and open up, and then pull yourself up. Okay, we switch sides, so you can just turn around or you can move your chair around like I am. So the opposite side of your body is facing your chair, outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance. You're reaching out towards your chair. Your arm is straight. You're not too close. Outer arm goes up and over into a side bend. Then your hips go out and pull back in right over your ankles. It might be a very small move at first. Again, if it's big, control it. Go a little slower. Hips go out and bring them in. Try to keep bending over from the upper body. Hips go out and bring them in. Take your time. Hips go out, bring them in. Now reach that top arm into the air. Go slow. Curl under your bottom arm and open up. Curl under and open. Curl under and open. Curl under and open. And then bring that hand down. Okay, you are still standing sideways at the back of your chair. So you're standing sideways. I'm going to turn my chair to make this easier for you to see, but you're still standing sideways at your chair. So standing sideways at your chair, you're going to step whatever foot's closest to the chair in front and the other foot back. And you want to try to, your feet are still hip distance apart. They're not on a tightrope. They're still hip distance apart. You want to try to, this requires your feet to be as wide as they can without you feeling like you're going to fall or lose control. So if you can scoot your back foot back a little more so that your heel comes up off the ground, that's going to be a good thing. And then you're going to do your best to bend both of your knees. Your front knee doesn't go past your ankle. Your back knee is going straight to the floor, and press up until your legs are straight. You're keeping your pelvis in neutral. So as you bend, if your pelvis does one of these, that means you're not bending your back knee. So bend your back knee straight down and press up. And it takes some mobility of your back foot. So if you're feeling like your foot won't bend, then you know you have to work on your foot and getting more range of motion in the foot. And straighten and bend and straighten. Okay, from there, push down to step your back foot forward. Turn around. Whichever foot is closest to the chair steps forward. Your other foot wiggles back. Now, the wider your stance is, the more you can bend down. If your stance is shorter, your front knee is going to go forward as your back knee bends. So you've got to try to get a wide stance so your front knee doesn't go past your ankle very much. Otherwise, just bend less. But you're rolling off your back foot, bending down, and press up. And bend down, take your time, and press up. Bend down nice and slowly. Press up nice and slowly. Bend down nice and slowly. Press up nice and slowly. And then you can lean forward a little to push off your back foot to step that back foot forward. Then come around to the back of your chair, and we'll do a double calf stretch here. So you can use a block, 2 blocks next to each other. The dome is not quite long enough for me to have my feet quite hip distance apart, but you can have a towel rolled up. Just put your feet as far apart as you can in whatever you're using. Outer edges of feet straight, balls of the feet up, heels down, and push your hips straight back. Tuning into the breath. Great time to practice lifting your kneecaps up and down, rotating your thigh bones into neutral. And the alignment skill is up now to rotate your thigh bones into neutral, so please check that out on the site. Relax your lower belly. Really let it hang down. Let it relax. You can shift your hips a little bit side to side here. Staying if you find a particular angle. And then push down through your outer hips to come on up to stand. Okay, so keep in mind, and when we're doing these half forward folds, we did a lot this class, that it's common that people will start to say they feel it in their back muscles. But if you're feeling it in your lower back muscles, we're going to come to sitting now. But remember how you sit down nice and slow. When you feel it in your lower back muscles, there is something that's not working, and that's why your lower back muscles are working overtime. So either your pelvis is not untucking, so you're not using your hips, or you're not pushing down through your outer hip muscles or grounding through the feet, or your ribs. If you can easily untuck your pelvis, your ribs are thrusting forward. So there's something in a position that's not allowing it to work, and then your lower back is taking the load. So it's figuring out with the different tools we work with what that is, so that every time you start to feel those tensions in your body, you start to recognize, oh, here I am, I'm doing this again, or I'm doing that again, or I need to back my thigh bones up, or I need to bring my hands a little bit higher. So if you're not sure, feel free to reach out to me and let's talk about it. But it might be several things. You might have to work on one thing and then work on other things. Hold on to the back of the chair here. Check that your elbows, you don't want them out to the side, but they don't need to be overly hugging in, just right behind your shoulders. And then with your pelvis upright, your ribs relaxed down, you're going to straighten your elbows and bend your elbows straight back to the wall behind you. You might have to adjust where you're sitting on your chair. Closer to the edge, I think, is easier. Straighten and bend. And it's going to pull your torso back when you bend, but it doesn't have to lift your ribs up. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Hold. Elbows point straight back. Ribs relax down. Pelvis upright. Ears slide back over the shoulders. And then release. 3-part twist. So go slow. Ankles right under the knees, pelvis upright. Turn just from the belly button. It's so small that your head and chest might barely turn at all. You're turning from the belly button and holding and seeing that you can feel that. And then keep your head mostly forward and turn from the rib cage. Feel your rib cage turn. And then I like to put like one hand on my belly, one hand on my ribs, feel that they're turning. And last but not least, ears go back. Turn your head around to the right. And then slowly unwind your head, unwind your ribs, unwind your belly. So feeling these parts, because it's very common that we think in our head we're turning when sometimes we're going like this. Like the head has the most range of motion, and so we think we're turning, and the head is going, and really not a lot has turned in your torso. So if you find that you tend to do that, which years ago I learned this in a class, a teacher taught this, I started keeping my head forward for a while all the time. And so you just feel your waist turn. Of course, at that time, I didn't know about really focusing on the belly button turning, so there was more to learn. But just focus on your waist turning and don't let your head turn at all. And one way you know that that's your habit is if when you start to twist, your head always just goes quickly. So for a while, I recommend practice twisting without your head going anywhere. And then turn from your rib cage. Keep your head mostly forward. Turn from the rib cage. And then feel that turn from the belly and the ribs, and slowly turn your head all the way around to the left. Relax your face, soften your jaw, unwind your head, unwind your rib cage, unwind your belly. Excellent. All right, from here, let's do a cross ankle or block inside your left foot, right ankle over the knee. Oh, here, and we can practice not using our hands. So see how much your pelvis has to tuck back. And over time, if you can get your ankle over your knee without your pelvis, with your pelvis tucking back, then eventually the goal is to try to keep your pelvis more upright and still get the ankle over the knee, which is a lot more challenging. All right, pelvis upright here. Rotate forward a little hinge forward from the hips, and come back up nice and slowly. Rotate forward a little and come back up. Rotate forward a little and back up. Rotate forward a little and back up. Now try to keep the pelvis upright. Twist your belly button around towards your right knee, and then just kind of wiggle your torso around a little more. You can hold onto the chair if you can reach. Are your elbows popping out to the side? Relax them down. Is your head coming forward? Slide it back just a little bit. Letting your breath flow here. And unwind nice and slowly. Uncross your ankle, either block or whatever prop you use inside your right foot. Oh, let's try it without using the hand. So at first, again, notice how much you have to maybe lean back and tuck your pelvis under, and eventually see, can you keep your pelvis more upright and still get that leg? Oh, for this side, it's a lot harder for me. And get that leg on, tilt your pelvis upright, and rotate forward and back. And it seems almost counterintuitive, and we're rotating forward and back a few times here, but using all the ranges of motion in a healthy way is what allows you to get to the greatest range of motion in a healthy way. So previously, there was no way that I could get my ankle onto my knee without using my hands. And it's really by more often in these classes when I'm telling other people, hey, put your ankle on a block or something else, and I would do it too, that I started to gain better range of motion in my hips. So we always think that, the highest range of motion, oh, I can do that, I should just practice that one all the time. That's not so. If you're trying to build healthy ranges of motion, use different heights. Use different heights underneath your foot. You do this stretch with different heights. Sitting up nice and tall in the pelvis, turn towards your left leg, kind of wiggle your waist around a little more, maybe hold onto the chair. Do your elbows pop out? Give them a relax down. Does your head pop forward? Slide your ears back. Breathing here, turning from the belly button. And you don't have to turn from the head. And unwind your twist, uncross your ankle. All right, let's go around into a lunge. So spin around into a lunge. Slide your leg back. And then from this lunge, you're going to reach your arms into the air. And from here, drop your chin down to your chest and roll your neck a little side to side. Bring your chin back to center, bring your arms down, slide that leg forward, spin around to the other side, slide the knee back. This time, instead of arms out up in the air, cactus arms, elbows a little lower than the shoulders, steady in the feet in your lunge, side bends with your neck. So your right ear goes to your right shoulder, and your left ear slowly to your left shoulder. Ribs relax down. One more time each side. Right ear to right shoulder. And left ear to left shoulder. And then bring your head back up. Release your hands. Slide that leg forward. Spin around. Sit up tall in the pelvis. Lift the right foot up. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. Point. Flex, spread all your toes, lower the right foot down. Remember, the more the pelvis is upright, you'll feel some work here, but more core work. Lift your foot up, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Spread all your toes out. And lower the foot down, extend your legs long, heels down, toes up, hinge forward from the hips, let your spine round, let your head come down, soften your face, relax your jaw. You can wiggle a little bit here from your shoulders, your legs. Wiggling is a good thing. Gets into all the crevices and creases. Just go slow, be mindful. And as you're ready, slowly come up and sit all the way back into the chair for your final pose, Savasana. Let your gaze soften or your eyes gently close. Become very present with your body and with your breath. There was a man who had 4 sons. He wanted his sons to learn not to judge things too quickly. So he sent them each on a quest in turn to go and look at a pear tree that was a great distance away. The first son went in the winter, the second in the spring, the third in summer, and the youngest son in the fall. When they had all gone and come back, he called them together to describe what they had seen. The first son that the tree was ugly, bent, and twisted. The second son said no, it was covered with green buds and full of promise. The third son disagreed. He said it was laden with blossoms that smelled so sweet and looked so beautiful. It was the most graceful thing he had ever seen. The last son disagreed with all of them. He said it was ripe and drooping with fruit, full of life and fulfillment. The man then explained to his sons that they were all right because they had only seen but one season in the tree's life. He told them that you cannot judge a tree or a person by only one season, and that the essence of who they are comes from the whole life of experiences. If you give up when it's winter, you will miss the promise of your spring, the beauty of your summer, and the fulfillment of your fall. Don't let the pain of one season destroy the joy of all the rest. Don't judge life by one difficult season. Persevere throughout the difficult patches, and better times are sure to come, sometime or later. Bringing your hands to heart center. In gratitude for this day. In gratitude for all the seasons. Namaste. I don't know if it's Latin or Latin. If you know, write me a message, let me know.